This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.
So, you're classroom students. AR 24 this time. I'll get into IAS. Um, Thank you. And good evening. We share one similarity. I was all classroom student. It's audible, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So, do you have any specific questions? Anybody has any specific questions? Please don't ask and very generalized questions. How did you prepare? Or that will be very general. Like, uh, so, do you have anybody has any questions that you want to shoot right at the beginning of the talk? Okay. Choice of optional. Uh, she asked how to make notes from newspaper. Strategy to crack civils in first attempt. So my optional was mathematics, just to give a context. Anybody here in mathematics optional? Anybody here in any technical optional, engineering or physics, science? Okay. So I'll just give you a backstory of how I started my preparation and everything. So I was working in, I am an IIT Bombay grad. I graduated in 2015, and I was working for Samsung Electronics later. I worked for 1.5 years around, and I quit. I just started preparation 7 months before the prelims exam. So one advantage because of the very less time that I had was one was that I chose very minimal number of books that I want to study. I chose I'll just read NCRTs, I'll just read the standard books, and I'll just revise only these books if I have time to revise. I did not read Bipin Chandra, or I did not read D.D. Basu, or like any big standard book for so I chose very minimal minimal book list that I had, and I tried to finish it very comprehensively and perfectly. I had really good marks in optional. I had 347. I have good marks in essay, 152, and general studies I am just normal. I have 427 in total, I think. That is, I think, less than average of the toppers this year. The toppers got 440s, 450s, 460s, and somebody even got 500 in the general studies. So this actually shows what my strategy was. I did not aim to be extraordinary in the general studies papers. I just wanted to be as good as others who are clearing the exam. So these important points are that one is you have to understand the syllabus very well. When I mean understand the syllabus very well, when you are reading in the newspaper, you have to have a clear understanding whether this particular article will be useful in the exam, or this particular newspaper article will give you any extra points that you will write in an answer. Try to map each question to that syllabus point, where from which syllabus point has this question been asked. And when you map this, you will have certain idea about this syllabus point. This is the broad area where UPSC is asking. This is the broad area where UPSC is focusing the questions on. The second point that will help you immensely for scoring good marks in mains is revision. Like in 30 seconds, you have to recollect everything when you're writing when you're writing an answer. So for this, revision is very, very important, and what will help you in revising these topics is making notes. Making notes from newspaper articles, from textbooks. You keep adding whenever you read a newspaper article, and if you find one new dimension to this topic, you add that dimension there. And or if you find some very good example or very good case study that you can write in the exam, maybe you can add that. Number of examples or case studies, you should have like one example for each topic, or one case study for each topic. After that, it's all very futile again. You cannot put so many examples in your answer. You can put so many dimensions. So for hunger, there can be dimension, like there is a child hunger dimension, there is women hunger dimension, there is malnutrition. Malnutrition not from a calorie point of view, but from the point of view that we are not getting enough proteins or we are not getting enough micronutrients. So these are all the dimensions. So whenever you read a newspaper article or whenever you read, so that you can revise very quickly. So more after 2-3 months of making notes, every day you should not be adding like a 1 page of notes again. So by in 2-3 months, most of your topics are covered at least once in the newspaper. So after that, it's just addition. So and in addition, when you are adding adding points to that same topic, there should be very few points that you are adding, because usually it is very repetitive. The points are very repetitive about what they are asking or what the newspaper article is presenting. So that is one more important aspect of how you can be in a good state in the mains exam. And third is having a guide or mentor. When the guide or mentor is from very different background or somebody who does not understand you, then there will be a slight mismatch about and he'll give some advice. You might not like that advice, or you might not, that might not suit you the best. Find a mentor who has gone through the whole process or who has cracked the exam from a similar background. I think that itself will make your life lot easier. Because then you don't have decisions to make, like what book should you refer to, which source I have to read, how much time I have to put in for this subject. If there is somebody who can understand all these aspects of you, because you have both have the same wavelength. Fourth is answer writing practice. So that practice that you can do in the test series, but when you're writing at home, and at least in the first beginning stages when you're just starting to write answer writing, you cannot generate content or generate quality content within very less time, space, and all that. So give very big importance, very big preference to make it make it a point to practice as many answers at home as much as possible. So the best part about writing answers at home is you don't think a lot in the exam. So that is the beauty of home answer writing, that it will reduce the effort that you'll put in the final exam, where you won't think about what is the introduction that I'll do, what is the conclusion I'll do, what is the structure of the question, structure of the answer, all these. And fifth most important thing that will help to crack is strength of the optional. So in my strategy, what I had in mind was, I'll try to clear mains by hook and crook, and in interview I'll do really well. But what helped me finally to clear was the extremely high marks that I got in optional. I was just expecting around 320. In my strategy, I was like, I want 320 in optional, but finally I got 347. So it covered for whatever the unpredictability that interview has. So that is why it is very important to reduce the unpredictability of the exam, right? You have to bank on your strengths and ace in your strengths. So optional strength. So somebody asked, how do you choose the optional? I would say there are 2 to 3 very important criteria that you should keep in mind. One is that you kind of marry your optional. It's very tough to come back. So I've seen people who have done 3 to 4 times with the same optional, and they're unable to make that decision, very bold decision. Achha, this option is not working for me. I have to do some other. I have to change my strategy with some other optional, but they're unable to come out of it because they put lot of energies in it. So in that way, it is kind of a marriage that you go with your option. So it is very important you choose it very wisely. So like in a marriage, you should have interest in your optional. I, and it should not be a burden for you to study for so much time. Say if it is a technical optional, it will require a lot of time and effort to put, because usually the syllabus of technical options is quite lengthy. It might take, say, anywhere around 6 months of complete preparation for just for the optional. So to put 12 hours every day just for the optional for 6 months, it means that you need to have a lot of interest. It cannot be like I'm doing for this for the exam sake or something like that. You should be genuinely interested and you should genuinely enjoy doing that. Otherwise, it will become very tough. So for this is for I'm talking from a technical optional point of view. But for a humanities background, there are other checkpoints that you need to make. Say some optionals are doing extremely well in the past few years. Say anthropology, political science. Say for example, economics. Some people do really well, but if you see the background of who are doing really well in economics, you will see clear pattern that they have economics in their bachelor's or in their specialization, something like that. So when you are looking at the trend, please always check what is the background of the person who is doing well in this optional. And there are certain optionals where everybody do well, say anthropology or political science. So please check this also. So there you have to make a practical choice, especially in terms of humanities optional. And you have to do a lot of answer writing practice also, because there is an element of, say again, subjectivity. For a technical option, there is no element of subjectivity. If you get the answer right, you are right. But for a humanity optional, you have to write an answer which is, which the examiner likes and all. So there is a lot of necessity for answer writing practice. I think I've given a slight overview about, and I'll just talk about prelims preparation also. But prelims, it is really has gone through some drastic changes over the last 3 to 4 years. So please don't rely on one particular and most important thing to clear prelims is having an understanding in that subject, I think, because the kind of questions they're asking, it's just impossible to cover all those organizations or all those very specific facts that we are being tested upon. So they are also expecting us to make certain intelligent guesses. How much ever prepared the person is, the UPSC is expecting us to make intelligent guesses, develop certain understanding of that topic. So just stick to one particular source and try to understand the genesis of it, and that is where you will get the capability to guess intelligently. Similarly, for any other topic, say history, why is Indian National Congress very important, or any particular event, why is non-cooperation movement very important, what has been the genesis around it, why it became unsuccessful. Try to understand the event rather than remembering that the event has happened in 1920s. Then I think you will make better guesses, especially from a prelims point of view. Interview will be very relevant to everybody. You have to first go through the first 2 stages before you get to the interview part. And so I think a good roadmap for you now can be to make a plan about how you are going to cover your optional. You have 1 year from now. The prelims exam is 1 year from now. How you are going to cover your optional, and I think you should cover your optional at least once before the prelims exam. I could not do it because of paucity of time, but now you have enough time to do that. Try to cover once, right? Try making notes of your optional. So uh, I've written some notes, but I'll talk from Sri Harsha point of view. He's all year rank 6 this time. So he made notes, anthropology notes of 400 pages, self-typed notes, all by himself by the December of 2016. So that is where the strength of his optional came from. He revised that itself a lot of times before the exam, and so in your plan, please make sure that you finish your optional at this before, like say December prelims, and try to revise once and make notes of everything. So when you're making notes, that is when you actually understand the topic, because when you're reading, I can read the NCERT book in a day without getting much out of it. But when you're making notes, then that is when you consciously try to understand and then put it on paper with your own words. Try to think what is important, what is not important. So please make notes for as much knowledge that you can get. Yeah, and see, and nothing can happen without putting those 12 to 14 hours every day. um, how much ever smart work you do, it is the combination of smart work and hard work. But how much ever smartly you are going to work, it's not going to happen without putting that 12 hours every day, having that discipline to wake up every day in the morning, read the newspaper, making notes. Without that discipline and without that schedule and a plan, it is not going to happen. So please put efforts, especially in the beginning stage of the preparation, because this is when many people tend to slack and they tend to do it in the last minute, like an engineering exam, like do in the last minute, just before the day before, 1 week before the exam, I'll start to study, and that's not how this works. So it is very important that you become disciplined and focused right from the first day, and only then the efforts you put now will make your life lot easier later in the preparation. If you are slacking now, you'll become tensed. You'll pressurize yourself with a lot of material. There's a lot of syllabus that you have to cover in the last minute. You will get tension. I mean, you'll get tensed. You will, like, your all mental energies will be focused on keeping yourself sane rather than putting into the subject. So work hard right from the first day, and wish you all the best.
This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.